I worked in a hardware years ago. It was run a big Italian family, kind of mafia related, with lots of sketchy backroom office meetings and stuff. One day, I'm in the back pricing stuff, and I hear this weird sound. It was a shuffle, squeak sound. I look up, and this ancient man shuffles in. He's wearing a brown type of suit from the 70s that is about 4 sizes too big for him. He's using a walker and has this oxygen tank on wheels attached to it. Creeped me out a bit. Straight behind him is a fucking monk with a sword. Full-length brown rope around waist, shaved friar head. He looked like a real monk. They casually just go to the back rooms and I'm scared shitless. I'm left for half an hour wondering what in the actual fuck. After they leave, I go and ask my boss who they were. Turns out it's his cousin Peter, aka the monk, and his uncle John, aka the dying old man on oxygen. And that's the end of that story. Not a scary one, but a weird moment for sure. I work in a jail. 2 inmates share a cell. One is a muscular tough guy, the other is a bit slow. Slow dude gets called to medical. While he's gone, the muscular one flips out. He's screaming, sweating and crying to be let out of his cell. We get him out, and he's rambling about the guy who came up out of the floor. He doesn't want any of his belongings, and we move him to a different cell. Slow dude comes back and asks where tough guy went. We say he moved and asked if he noticed anything weird in the cell. He thinks for a moment and then says, "Oh, there's a dude that lives in the trash can, but he's just doing his time like everybody else." Later the tough guy said, there was paranormal things going on in that cell. A week later the other guy died from sleeping, which was very horror-like. My first job was in the drive-thru of a pizza place. Basically, I just took phone orders and handed pizza through the window all night. I was 17, so I didn't know better at the time, but in hindsight, it's pretty fucked up that I got sexually harassed all the time when I was there, both by the customers and my co-workers. The worst was probably the time a 50-something-year-old cook cornered me in the walk-in to ask me if I was a virgin, and if so, could he help with that. I did end up leaving right after that to get away from him. I work at my family's ice cream shop. Most of my co-workers are in high school though. There's a creepy guy that comes in and hits on the younger girls. He lost interest in me when I told him I was no longer in high school. He didn't start coming till after I was out of high school. One of my co-workers was too polite to get rid of him, and he kept asking about our Halloween costume, saying how he bet she looked really good in it, asking for pictures. Then one time I was there when he came in, but he couldn't see me. He started talking to her again and asking if he missed her birthday because he got her a card and stuff. I couldn't hear them, but I could see she was obviously uncomfortable, so I came out front and he basically bolted. If I had known it was him and what he was saying, I would have called the cops, because when we first reported it, they said we need to call next time. He comes in and they will take care of it. None of the girls have called the cops yet though, because they're too nice. This has been going on for over a year. I can't remember his face, but I know he's a regular. I would totally tell him he was banned if I could remember what he looks like. I was working in this office in my early 20s, and I always liked it there. We usually hire people around my age, but the boss usually hired teens to be their like personal assistant. No one thought much of it until one day he asked me if I can stay overtime, and I kindly said yes. Usually the boss and assistant stay late to do light work. One day I hear girl moaning and banging noises and literally, checks being clapped. I thought maybe the boss had a girlfriend or some, which didn't bother me until I saw the teen girl come out of his office shirtless and leaving home. I called the authorities, and turns out he did this with all his personal teen assistants, which terrified me. Turned out that the assistants were getting paid $3 extra an hour for the personal assistants, which was just insane of them.